soldier from the 1500s and from the Holy Roman Empire, which it would be modern Germany, Austria, northern Italy, parts of France, parts of Poland, basically, seriously, Central Europe. Okay? Understand that gunpowder has been around for a couple of hundred years already in Europe in the form of cannons. But this is the first single-man portable weapon that we start to see on the battlefields. There is the lock, which is the firing mechanism. There is the stock, which is the wooden support bits, and then the barrel, which in the most basic terms is the shooty bits. If this is a match lock, what is a match? Well, this is the match. This is not just a piece of cord. This is a specialized piece of cord. This has nitrates in it so that it does not burn with an open flame. When I light this outside, you will see that it looks much more like a cigarette or a cigar. There's no open flame, but it's red hot embers on the end. If I had to be. All right, so the first thing as I pointed out is you gotta have your match burning. Now obviously, in the time period, my choices would have been candles or fire. I am today using my fairy wand. You didn't see that. All right. Now, people ask me, is bad weather bad for your match? No. It's bad for my powder, but this match is designed to keep going. You can see it's just red hot end to it, no open flame. All right? The more I blow on it, the hotter it gets. So you'll see that I do that periodically as I'm going through the process. All right, so step one of loading this weapon is I bring it down in one hand and I make sure that my burning match is in that same hand. Step two, I'm opening my charger with the other hand, pouring powder down the barrel. I'm now making sure that it covers up. That's done. Now normally I would take and reach in here and get a ball, but as I mentioned previously, the concept of not killing neighbors is usually preferable. So today I will reach in here and get some of my paper wadding. This looks like the stuff we took from the monastery. I don't need it anymore.
Is that the gospel according to St. Colt?
Actually, the best part is you guys could look at them later. I've actually printed all of them, so they look like they're from the monastery.
Where are you gonna shoot at?
I'm going to shoot out that way.
We're just gonna like point blank.
Just imagine there's a whole bunch of every enemy America's ever had.
No, this is European.
No, this is European here.
So, I don't know, Vatican Guard?
Ottoman Empire.
Yeah.
There you go.
This would be.
Although Reichshoffers are a prime target of mine, yes. All right, now you'll notice that I packed down the shot and the powder with my ramrod. And then have to put that back in place. I now bring the weapon up. Now remember, I'm doing this all while I'm getting shot at and people are trying to kill me, right? I'm using my fellow pikemen to keep the close action people away from me. So now I have to pull up my loose powder for my pan. So I'm pouring loose powder in the pan. I then have to make sure that I get the cover back in that, because when I fire this, sparks go everywhere, and I really don't want to blow up. Right. Now, I now mount the match. Now, partially, I'm doing this a little slower so you can see, but also partially, I'm doing this slower because, see previous comment about bomb. I like y'all, but I ain't willing to die for y'all just for a demonstration. Okay, so I've blown on it. It's cleared out the powder surrounding. It's gotten the match going. I'm fiddling with the match to make sure that it's going to come in contact with the powder. It's got a little curve to it, so it's a notch. All right, I'm finally ready to give fire. So I shoulder the weapon. I open the pan.
We get to the American Civil War. Now, most soldiers in the American Civil War are issued muskets that are almost the same as that, except the only difference is they have rifling, so the balls that are fired are much more accurate. What's the effective range of your match?
50 feet.
Okay. In the Civil War for muskets, that goes to 200 yards. Somewhere in that range, right? But the process of loading is almost the same, except that instead of dealing with the burning match, we have brass percussion caps that have a little bit of, I can't remember the chemical,
mercury.
that on the inside that goes on a nipple where his powder would be by the match, and then the friction of the hammer striking the cap sets off a spark, which then sets the gun off. As we mentioned before, with the Henry, all of the steps he just took have already been done for me. I'm basically just putting a whole bunch of his rifle's worth of charges into this gun. Not the sense of amount of powder, but just, I have 6 of him in the palm of my hand in terms of my continuity of fire, right? So I'll just load some up here. And let's say that all of a sudden, we're out on the line, and all of a sudden, a bunch of Confederate cavalry charges. Most of the time, that would worry a regiment of Union infantry. But with this Henry,
Show off.
he made a comment about how big his lead balls are. It's not size, it's how you use it.
Have a lot of leftover firearms. The military, first of all, Quartermaster General Ripley just absolutely hated Oliver Winchester, who was the owner of New Haven's Arms Company, which is now the Winchester Company. That is the forerunner of the Winchester repeating rifle. That's Granddad. Okay, 1866. They put a 4-stock on that. They put a side loading gate. The receiver's the same, practically. Same operation, except you can load it from the receiver as opposed to an open magazine. The largest unit we had would be a regiment, and they were scattered all over the United States, and guess what? They still had these. Black powder. Fires, makes plumes of smoke. Dirty. Okay, let's go to war with Spain. Well, guess what? They still have these. So, again, the 10th U.S. Cavalry. If you ever heard of by the name of John Pershing, he was a lieutenant in it. Black Jack Pershing, how did he get his name? It was an African American. It was the Buffalo Soldiers. Okay, No, he didn't carry around blackjack and hit people over the head. Okay. So, many of the U.S. troops still carried these. And the good old timers, the good old soldiers from the Civil War, 1 shot, 1 kill. Oh, by the way, all that smoke will obscure where you're at. No, after the first round, they know exactly where you're at. Okay. I left the trapdoor Springfield inside. 45-70, I didn't get light rounds for it, but pretty much the idea. I'll kind of demonstrate. 45-70, essentially you open the action. You put 1 round in, and then you fire. I don't know. Now, single, this one again, I said this would do single or it could do magazine feed. Unfortunately, as you saw with the Henry, and as with many of these weapons, they are not specifically designed to fire blanks. So, this next demonstration, there will be one of three things that will happen. One, it will work. Two, it will not work. Three, I will be a ball of flame.
The ring of fire. Ladies and gentlemen, these guns have the mind of their own. Some of these are original. They are stubborn like your grandpa. So, please, bear with us. They like to jam up, do what they want, and we can't buy them. These guns were not made to fire blanks. They were made to fire live ammunition. So they're not made for these short bullets. Boom. 1903 Springfield rifle. It has actually seen 3 wars: World War I, World War II, and Korea. This is a bolt reaction, so I can able to do this, and I can put, and if I can find one,
A stripper clip.
a stripper clip. That will be this metal piece. I am able to hold 5 rounds. I hold it in, and it staggers. I have to play it on a Pacific spot. If not, it's not gonna work. This was moiling in like World War I and a little bit of Spam and American. Nothing much to it, just a regular bolt reaction, and it was made for to be a long-range sniper rifle. Only certain qualified soldiers were able to do it. I'm also qualified to be a grenade launching. She is called American Guns for a reason. I am not going to personally do this because I don't want an M1 Grand.
You want me to show them how it
Go
works?
ahead, Serge.
We're running out of hands.
Yes.
Here.
Sorry about that, Serge.
So just in case you all didn't pick up on it yet, 4 of us up here are all part of the same group that does living history. So we do a lot of this stuff. So what she's explaining real quick is this last one we're going to talk about. Then we're going to go burn some powder.
Yes.
So the way this works is this gas-operated semi-automatic rifle. So you pull the charging handle back, which works the op rod.
And then you put this lovely thing called a clip.
End block, clip, or loader, depending on who you talk to. When you load it, you take the back of your right hand, hold the charging handle back, and then when you press down and get the end block in there, all you do is release it. If your thumb is in there when you let go of the charging handle, you'll get what everybody's heard about, which is called M1 thumb. It pinches your thumb in between the bolt and the chamber.
And you
get
can
a
kiss
nice
your
cut.
thumbnail goodbye.
So
Clip. Pull it back. You push it down. Let's see if I can do this right this time.
There we go.
That's a beautiful sound I love. And then I
That was
slide
what the
over.
Mauser had. That's what the Spanish Mauser had. That the Spanish had it. That was identical to what they had at Cuba during the Spanish-American War, which made
Let me go fast.
them better. They had better weapons than this.
Go as fast as you can fire the weapon.
All right. So, by sight. Now it's live and loaded. I gotta say, that was probably my fastest time ever.
That was pretty lickety with that rifle.
Holy crap. Gotta talk loud.
As fast as you can too there.
Sometimes you gotta jimmy rig it, sometimes with firing and loading. You gotta get to know your gun. Get ready, buddy.
and the characteristic